I was only 8.
I was 10.
I was 21.
I was 52 years old.
When my mom's boyfriend raped me.
When I was raped.
When my brother started molesting me.
And with one drive home, it changed my entire life.
These are the women of the Total Life Recovery Program at the only women's community correctional center in Hawaii. Women whose lives were changed forever. Women who are now committed to changing their hearts, changing their thinking, and changing their goals. Learning to live each day with dignity, faith, respect, and acceptance.
I was charged with 56 counts of identity theft and forgery. Growing up, there was a lot of abuse and alcoholism in our home. At the age of 17, my parents divorced, and that's when I started hanging out on the streets, using street survival skills. At the age of 21, I was raped by my boyfriend, whom I trusted, with a .357 Magnum gun pointed to my head. My heart became hardened. It was a brutal rape. Then I became a mom of 3. I really didn't get over it. I used drugs to numb the pain and the hurt. I didn't even care about my children at that time. I ended up in a bad relationship, physical abuse, couldn't go anywhere. I had to learn how to survive, and started getting into theft, and I got caught for shoplifting, and from shoplifting I was thinking, oh my God, there's got to be something better, and started stealing people's identities. I was supporting my drug habit. That's what brought me to jail. The parole board gave me a 20 out of 20. I've been in for 6 years.
I was charged with possession of drugs and credit card fraud. I grew up in an abusive home. My mom and my dad got a divorce when I was like 7 years old. And my mom started dating other men. One of her boyfriends came into my room and raped me. When I told my mom what happened, she said, "Kimmy, do you know the story about the boy who cried wolf?" And I just started to cry. And so from that day on, when she did that to me, I was really angry at my mom. I mean, I was so angry. So I started running away.
I would run away and go have sex with any kind of guy. I started prostituting on the streets so I could survive on the streets. I got busted. I came to prison.
I went to OCCC and I escaped from there. They took me in, they put me in max custody, which is a lockdown.
I was sentenced to 40 years in prison, and I did 10 years already, and 9 of those years were in the dark.
That's why I'm here.
I was charged with manslaughter, and I received an open 20, and I've been in prison for 3 years. I was adopted into a very loving family. I had a lot of friends, very good childhood. I was not involved in party scenes, drugs, alcohol, none of that. I was 10 years old when my brother started molesting me. I never knew I had a different relationship with my brother. I didn't know that what was happening wasn't normal. I didn't really realize how much of being molested had affected me until I was 17, when my brother slept with my best friend, and I had really jealous feelings. I received a phone call from my brother, and he invited me to a party. And I went to the party. He wasn't there. There was no girls there. just a few of the guys from the wrestling team, which were his friends. And I had one drink, but it made me really sick, and all I remember was the different guys on top of me. I went from this normal life to this such a dark side. I started dating guys who were abusive. My last boyfriend, he choked me. He'd hit me before, so I decided I was gonna leave him, and it got physical. I don't remember much, but from what I do remember, that there was pushing, shoving, choking, and I was scared. I got a knife, a kitchen knife, to go cut myself. Then when he came at me again, I already had it, and I didn't even know what happened until it was over. And he was holding his side, and I realized that he got stabbed, and it was once in the side. And he passed away after surgery, and that's what led me here.
I was charged with manslaughter. I worked. I was in the working world. I'm a full-charge bookkeeper, and I had just started my own business. So I was working straight out 7 days a week. I think you know what that's like, being in your own business. And I finally got a client that put me in a class where I could take some days off. And I took my first day off on February 13th, 2004. It was a Friday the 13th. I'll never forget it. I went on a snorkel whale watch trip, and I drank champagne on the boat. And the boat ended up staying out longer than it was planning on it. They were supposed to be back by 11. They stayed until 1, so it was really a long trip. In the sun, I got in my truck and I drove home. And I started feeling tired, and all the effects of the whole day started to affect me, and I just wanted to get home. I just rushed, thinking if I get home right away, I'll be okay. And there was a car in front of me that was going the speed limit, and I passed him. And in the process of passing, he sped up. And when I got past him, I put my foot on the brake, and I was coming to a hairpin turn. And I slammed my foot on the brake, and my truck tailed out, and another car was coming around, and we hit head-on. The driver of the other car was a doctor, and he hit his head on the passenger drive, on his side. I had no previous record, not even a parking ticket, and I got an open 20, and the parole board gave me 15 out of 20. I've been incarcerated for 7 years now.
Society says to change a woman, you must first change the behavior. The Total Life Recovery Program believes in first changing the heart. Our mission is to provide a stable and safe community environment where women are allowed the freedom to rebuild their lives based on a spiritual perspective of hope, accountability, personal responsibility, honesty, and integrity. Founder and executive director of TLR, Chaplain Bonnie Holcomb, recognized the needs of incarcerated women were the needs of all women. Even prison walls can't change the landscape of a woman's heart or her desire to be loved, educated, a provider for her children, and be able to live a life with purpose.
My big dreams is to help the women in prison to find hope and to help troubled teenagers. The mothers in here that are lost, I want to help them get out of the dark.
I dream of being a writer and an artist, and I still think I'm going to become someone.
I really want to be able to save another life, because I can save a life by just saying my story. I've done it before in front of teenagers, and I've seen the look on their face when I tell them what happened to me.
The Total Life Recovery Program is unique in so many ways. It's not offered anywhere else in Hawaii's prison system or in other prison programs Chaplain Bonnie has seen on the mainland. TLR is a faith-based, gender-specific program that addresses every area of a woman's life, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. giving them the knowledge and tools they need to learn how to live successfully every day with dignity and self-worth.
TLR has helped me immensely. It helped me with my anger, my emotions. This program has given me hope because I had none.
Oh, they've been a safe haven for me. Besides that, they've taught me to love, no matter what, even when you're not feeling it.
TLR had taught me to become a leader, an example.
TLR has helped me learn how to have a better, closer, more intimate relationship with God and with Jesus, something bigger than me.
Participants have daily homework and personal quiet time. The goal is for the women to work to stay out of prison, not work to get out of prison.
I think initially when the program first started, everyone was a bit hesitant, thinking that, oh, it's just another one of those programs. But from my perspective as an officer, it's interesting to see the girls grow, becoming more mature as they go through the program. I can see the difference between the TLR girls and the general population and the impact that they've made for the other women here at WCCC. When there's a lot of havoc in the cottage, they'll try to calm down or diffuse whatever the situation is. So it has been a lot easier for me to have the girls in the TLR program mixed in with the general population because they tend to set the example.
It's been proven that successful prison programs, if continued on the outside, will reduce recidivism. To date, TLR has a 22% recidivism rate.
And I think if we were to put more into this type of solution, this kind of program as a solution, I think it'll make a greater impact on everyone.
TLR offers mentoring for women who have successfully completed the program and are preparing to re-enter society, as well as continued support for those who remain incarcerated and desire to continue with advanced study.
I need my support group from TLR, my counselor, financial help, so I can get back on my feet.
I'm now 60 years old, so a lot of things I have to relearn, and just to readjust into society, I do need support.
A clean and sober house, new friends, support, and I need my family.
With the future ahead, TLR is committed to expanding the program beyond prison walls, with plans to develop a self-sustaining, faith-based transitional home.
When you hit rock bottom, the only way to go is up. So don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. People do believe in you.
TLR needs funding, community support, counselors, teachers, and mentors to help incarcerated women turn their lives around, become advocates, and make a social impact. These are the women of the Total Life Recovery Program, striving to become Nawahine Okupono, women of excellence. Help turn their stories into life-changing lessons.